And when I tell the story of Mother God, that gave birth to all things, not a female but feminine like. If you look in the Judeo-Christian Bible, and it talks about I am, because you tend to think in words or in linear progressions. You tend to think that moment was I am. That moment was recognition, feeling. The essence of all physical being is movement. Movement is not philosophical. Movement is felt. At the beginning of what you call time is a moment of expression. Everything in the universe was the size of an atom or smaller. Every piece of matter. It becomes so intense with such energy. No movement. But the effort to move was there. And finally enough had happened so that happened. What you had then was energy. Let us call that T1. Temperature 1 or time 1. I don't care. Doesn't matter. T1. Then a cooling of the energy took place. Let's call that point T2. The crystallization of energy now became matter. It became the quarks. The tiny, teeny, tiny little things that make up stuff. So you had matter. Movement. You see that movement happen. The first of feeling, to be felt. So in Mother God was I am. Not the words, the feeling I am. Father God was born. Form, movement, aggression. So at the basis of your physical being is the law feelings. To feel, to understand without the linear progression of words, but to understand from feeling. You've heard me say over and over again, all of the information that you need, that you will ever understand, is in your feelings. But now, a problem arises. We call that problem emotion. Thoughts slapped on top of the feeling, therefore no more can be understood about the feeling. It is a cap. Because from that moment on, when the child puts that cap on feeling, they will not go beyond it. Not they cannot. They will not. When you sit where I sit and you observe people's behavior, you will say one thing to them. Bang! What will they do? They will avoid it with a question. No. Bang! No. All over the place. Except the truth. And the truth is simple. You know, in physics they talk about the beauty of an equation. Einstein's E=mc squared. The beauty of how this explains the entire universe. Except for gravity. Well, that's not the entire universe, okay? But we talk about the beauty. See, truth is beautiful because it is simple. It is simple. The laws of this universe and the laws of being are simple. The question is, do I want to understand or do I want to perpetuate my misunderstanding and thereby be kept in the darkness? You see, I only keep myself in the darkness. I cannot keep anyone else in darkness. I cannot bring light to anyone else. They must bring light to themselves. That is why I do things the way I do, you know. I am not the bearer of light. I'm just a guy passing through, okay? Get it? Passing through. Saying, look, here are the rules. Do you wish to live by the rules and understand? Or do you wish to not live by the rules and live in turmoil? That is the choice of each individual. So, now, people want to defend their perspective. Huh. You have to remember that this perspective was developed when you were somewhere around 2 years old. The things you accepted about your feelings or what happened. I feel put down. I feel this. I feel small. I feel this. I feel that way. Yes. That is why when I have asked you in times past, what do you feel when something happens? Not what you think. No. Normally I ask a person, what do you feel? They'll tell me what they think. I don't care what you think, because that's not the issue. You're dealing with, you're trying to make time a reality. It's not. When I say, what do you feel? That means the action going on in your body. And I say, go back and remember the first time you had that feeling. Go back. Back. See, I've already said you are what you are by the time you're 2 years old. So you got a long trip. Most of us just want to get off at downtown. No. All the way. Here's what you will find. The first time you felt insecure, you won't remember it. as a verbal thing. Because the first time you felt insecure was when you popped out of your mother's womb. And now you miss the warmth and the protection. And there's all this stuff that you don't understand bombarding your systems. What? The same as in the Great Mother God when she recognized herself. The child doesn't have the words for it, but the feeling is there. That feeling is recorded in the cells in your body. Now you move forward. As you move forward in life, you see new and different things that make you go, wow. Because you aren't quite sure of what they are. You're timid about them. But yet inside of you, there's another feeling that says, check it out. Let's poke it with a sharp stick and see what happens. I remember seeing sparks fly from an electrical socket. I remember seeing my grandmother put a light bulb in there by the time we had electricity. Wow, I wonder if I put my hand in there, will I light up? Well, hell yes. Boy, did I ever light up. See, that other thing that says, let's see. But now the other part of that is, never again will I go, Now, what we take is that part that goes, bam, oh. Instead of examining whether there's a way to do things, we respond to that original feeling. That is why some of us, you and I, have problems. Because I will give you advice, or you'll say, tell me what my problem is, and I tell you, and you take it as a put down. Because the original feeling that you got when somebody told you what to do was that it was a put down. So there are two different things. One is advice, one is just telling you, here's the truth. I recognize an interesting thing about myself, and one of the reasons why I am not social, I don't know how to be. I don't know how not to look at you when you say something to me that's really nuts, and I don't know how to look at you and not say, that's really fucked up. I don't know how not to tell you that, because I think you want to know the truth. So I stay away. Because I have no desire to deal with that back and forth that I used to when I was crazy. I'm not crazy anymore. I don't know how to do that anymore. Okay? That is the choice I've made. Now, we go back. And if we see that, we understand that what we are doing in this moment, in this present moment, is trying to bring the past into the now. That's what that feeling is about. That's why I say, pay attention to what is happening now. What is being said by whom in this moment. Who is this first person speaking to me? What are they saying? As soon as I sometimes hear a word, a phrase, I react, oh, as if I know what that means. No. You got to hear the whole thing, and you got to see the source. That means you must be paying attention. That means you must be clear. That means for me to be clear, I have felt those feelings that I have felt. I have used my technique and allowed those feelings to clear themselves up. Not put an emotion, a name on it, and made it emotional and stop there, because that's not the end. That is the beginning. To feel, period. Now let me have that feeling run its course. You know, we are yoga enthusiasts, we are Tai Chi enthusiasts, and we got all the words and all the crap. And we talk about chi and ki, and it is felt. That means that it naturally has channels in your body. The energy, that which is felt, naturally. And as you let that energy run, it teaches you about the entire universe. It teaches you about the entirety of being as it runs freely through the natural channels of your body. You learn if you are open. That doesn't mean that you, in the beginning, you don't have to come through some muddied water. As you feel, things are going to happen, and you're going to feel. You let it happen. Old memories are going to come up, because that's what the flowing water does. If you sit by a river, everything that has clogged the river or been in the river upstream passes by you. And when you stop throwing things in down here, pretty soon the water runs clear and clean. It's the same thing. All those things that you have thought and that you believe and that have hurt you, and all that will rise, flow out, bang, and it will become clear, and you will be able to understand and see exactly what has happened. You've heard me say there is no time. Well, you look at the hands on your watch, and it goes, the hands on the watch go round and round. There's time. I get older. Things happen. Really? Is that real, or is that your perception? Einstein says mass and energy are the same thing. Okay? I just made that point a few minutes ago, if you remember. Zzz, cool down, mass. So mass is nothing but cool down energy. The same applies to what you call time. Time is a measurement of movement through space. A measurement of movement through space. So, time and space are actually the same thing. So, space is the deal. Form is a reflection of energy. Time is a reflection of space. So they don't exist. What exists is the origin. That made big sense, didn't it? So anyway, the hell with all that. Time. You perceive of yourself as moving linearly like so. But at the same time, your feelings that you set up way back when are the same. Well, why isn't there distance between that then and now? It's the same place. It is the same place. Your perception of time is a linear progression. That's not the way it happens. You take something from here, something from here, something from here, something from here. And some of those things represent what you call past. Some of those things represent what you call future. But how could this be if they didn't exist now? So the only time that exists is now. Right here, right now. That's all that exists. Everything else is a perception. So, at any moment in this now, I can be anything, anywhere I want to be. That is why when I have to say the same thing to a person year after year, day after day, month after month, I know they don't want to be in a different place. They want to be in bed with this distorted feeling. See, the feeling that is not distorted transcends all of that. Live in that feeling of being, that feeling of being, that feeling of when everything that exists passes through me. It is the river. It is the river. I sit on the bank, and everything that is in the river passes before my eyes. This receiver is that sitting on the bank of the river of being. And all that is and everything everywhere passes through this river. All I need do is observe, choose what I want from it, and let go what I do not want. Fear. Suppressed energy. Fear will make you an enemy of truth. Fear makes you an enemy of truth because you will want to respond a certain way in certain situations out of fear and create an enemy that you don't need, that doesn't have to be there. Fear. I have to defend. No. What I have to be is present. What I have to be is here. At peace. Wow. It's a pretty good day. It's a good day. There are going to be times when someone is going to want to get in your face. Well, generally when they do with me, my question is, do you really want to? You really want to? Okay. Let's see what you got. And not out of malice, because the energy is flowing. The energy flows and brings you messages of all kinds. I see all kinds of things. I see all kinds of things in store for many of you. Do I say anything? No. Because each individual has to decide to get into the river for themselves. You see, if I tell you what to do, you take my advice for what to do. You still don't understand what you're doing. So how's it going to turn out right? I have to understand. I have to understand why things happen to me the way they happen to me. I must understand why. I went to the doctor. Said, well, what's wrong? I said, nothing. I've come to tell you what I am going to do. Not to ask you, because I've been asking you for years and I'm still kind of screwed up here. All right. I have some thoughts. This is what I'm going to do. Well, you know, Since that time, my injections have gone down from 60, I forget what you call them, units, from 60 units to 40, and they're still too high. Why is that? I'm looking, I'm paying attention. This makes sense to me. Okay. I'm going to try. Because it makes sense. Not because I am emotionally, oh God, I got to cure myself. No. It's like it's objective. What is the truth here? What do I need to do? Wow. Also, the thing I realize, it's been kind of tough week or two. Not because I'm wrong, but because I'm adjusting. Any good scientist involves themselves in their scientific production. The problem is they remove themselves and say, I think. Oh, hell no. Get in there and let's see. All right. So when you tell me the side effects of this is that your left leg is going to draw up, your nose is going to grow 18 inches, your penis is going to shrink to a mere cinder, you know what you're talking about when you give me this. I can look at you and go, oh yeah, I don't think so. No, I'm good. I'm good. To see what is truth and what is true clearly. This is for the individual. You cannot see it if you don't feel it, because that feeling is a message. You go out at night and you look at the stars and you say, boy, that's a beautiful star. I see that star. The question is really, do you? Or are you seeing what the star used to be? What it used to be. You have to remember, that thing may be 900 million light years away. That means 900 million years ago, that light left that place. It's your eye in the now. Is it even still there? A question. Clarity about what it is. Okay, now I can make decisions. Okay. About what is true. Based upon those things that are true, I can make decisions. I can't make them when I am assuming based upon something that happened 900 million light years ago. Back when I was a child, back when I was 2 years old. An interesting thing. Children see things quite differently than the adults. Basically because a child is new to the whole thing. The adult has experience. So the child is going to assume certain things that most generally are not true. Sometimes they are. Don't get me wrong. But because of the lack of experience with the world, the child is naturally going to misunderstand many things that happen. Go, oh. So what do? We go through life blaming our parents for something, and the parent is looking at you like, have you lost your mind? That never happened. Oh yes, I remember that happened. It's like, what? And there's no way you can convince that child. You are that child. Your parents were that child. Your children are that child. Their children will be that child. Because of lack of experience with the world. So emotions that are formed are not true things. Feelings are true things. Now, we start to understand stuff when we start to get in our 40s and 50s. We start to have a different perspective of the world. Yeah, because the energy of that lie cannot last that long. Pretty soon you start to go, wait a minute. I don't think so. I don't think I want to go through this anymore. Whatever. I look at my old people. I used to call them children, but they're old people now. It's like, and they start to tell me things about Dad, so and so. Well, yep. Can I have another piece of pie? I already told you, that's not what it was. Now, let's discuss. No, there's nothing to discuss. Here's what we discuss. You pay attention and get your shit straight. That's what you do. That's the best advice Dad can give you. I'm giving you the truth. Here, like I said, I don't know how to be social. I don't know how to pretend, oh, it's okay. No, it's not all right to be an asshole. It's not. Now, who told you that? Oh, little Bobby, it's okay. No, hell no, it ain't okay. This is the right thing. You want to teach a child to grow up to be a big child, or you want to help that child grow up to become an adult? Be a reasoning, thinking, responsible human being. Or a frightened child. Our world is full of frightened children. Frightened children. Based on the color of their skin. Based on their gender. Based on their national origin. Frightened children afraid of each other. Carrying stuff from way back when forward. When I see you now, I want to know, hey, how are you? How are you? I don't want to know how the color of your skin is doing. I don't want to know how your genitals are doing. How are you? Hello. If asshole jumps out, okay. All right. Got any more asshole in there? Oh, okay, then I'll go this. Well, I can't go that way? How about now? Oh, okay. You got it. Okay. Can I get you a napkin for that nosebleed? You know, I like you. The person. Martin Luther King said the content of character. Not by the color of their skin, but by the content of character. Not by your genitalia, content of character. Not by your national origin, content of character. This is who I want to know. This is who I want to know. How are you? You're doing okay? Well, that's good. I go back to my gym following of people who say, I consider you my friend. I go, thank you. I don't even know their name. Because I'm not social. You tell me their name and I go, oh yeah, nice. Ah. Yeah, well, I know when to keep my mouth shut being non-social. I can't say, I know your face, but I don't remember your name because I've met them 10, 15 times. Your content of character is what I want to know. Hey, I don't care what your name is. Your name is a label. I don't care what all that crap is. I don't care what you're wearing. I don't care. You can't make me care. Because all I want to know is what is true. Truth runs through everything. That's what I want to know. What's true? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to relate to. We find this out in ourselves when you have a feeling. Put your attention on that part of the body where you feel it. Relax. Let the feeling move. Observe. You say nothing happened. Do it again. Because now what we have to understand is how to do it. When I was teaching martial arts, say, okay, you want to deliver energy with your punch. What you have to do is make sure that these knuckles align with this bone, which aligns with this bone, which aligns with your shoulder. You have to make a unit from there to the waist so that the waist turns. That aligns with this leg all the way to the floor. So you're driving from the leg, this moves in relationship to this moving, bang, force. No, that's not the way you do that. You align this with this, with this, with this. No. See, what we're doing here is learning. So the first time you do that technique, you may not get the desired result. The 10th time you do it, what you do is continue to do. Find out what's happening. Why am I not doing it? See, I don't believe in inferior and superior people. I don't believe that anyone cannot learn. I just can't. Regardless of how you make me see it, I won't believe it. I just won't believe it. In some cases, 15, 20 years, the same point, but I refuse. I think you just misunderstand. So, this aligns with this, with this, with this. Everyone is intelligent. It is our emotions that don't allow us to express those intelligence. We need to clear ourselves of our emotions, what we think about what we feel, and feel what we feel. The origin of the whole damn thing is feeling. The origin is what is felt. It's what is felt. You follow me? So now, The problem needs to be solved if we want peace, if we want to understand. Now, peace is not out here, peace is in here. If you want peace, you need to understand how to resolve that keeps you from being at peace. Haven't been the psychologist, haven't been the therapist. Finally one day it's like, the hell with this. Look, you're crazy. All right? You don't need to come back for another hour. I can settle this problem in 15 minutes. You fucking nuts. All right. Now, here's what we need to do. It's simple. All right? I haven't gone through all that, because what are the things we do, and here's something we have to watch about, that we get into a rut. Automatic thinking. No, it's not about thinking. It's about resolution of the gestalt that makes you automatic. And that is an emotional thing. It's not only is it an emotional thing, but it is an automatic trigger mechanism. It is a biomechanical trigger mechanism in your nervous system. Now, what do we have to do? We have to clean that trigger up so that we return to a natural state as a child. Childlike, not childish. The natural curiosity that says, what? What is this? Let me understand. Wow. But now we have to see that about ourselves. It's about us now. You are the center of the universe. You, because everything passes through you. Why? Because you are everything, and everything is you. That's it. By Jove. That's it. You are everything. Every physical thing that you are comes from the stars. So physically, you and the stars are one. What are the stars? A representative of divine consciousness brought down in vibrational frequency so that it can be in a physical world. You are that also. You are not separate from the whole thing. So you are the center. Now, I know that we look at these models and we look at all the beautiful people in Hollywood and all the beautiful wannabes who think they are the center of the universe when they're just wasted material. They too can be the center once they get rid of the false center. All that emotional crap that makes you think that you are bigger, larger, grander than anything else. We look for God and we think God is this huge thing out there someplace. No, God is simple, my friend. Look to your right. Look to your left. God is sitting there. Look at your hand. Go look in the mirror. You want to see God? Take a good look. Look inside, past the emotional crap. Recognize who is looking. See, it's real simple. We have a lot of questions about this and that. Screw all that. Answer the question of who you are. The question is not, who am I? That's a word. So now you're looking for other words to describe something that there are no words for. Feel. Just feel. Let those feelings express. Sometimes you will laugh, sometimes you will cry. But the most beautiful time will be when you come to laughing and crying at the same time, to seeing the truth at the same time. It's okay. It's okay to be. It's okay to be. There's a young man in the group, came to the group in New York. His desire is to lose the body. My question is, anybody got a 357? What the hell are you talking about? Carol raises her head. I imagine you got shells to go with it, right? Hey, it's all right. I'm with you. See, he's read a book someplace that says, and then I lose my body and not a tile above my head, not a floor beneath my feet. That's only in the moment of meditation, not in the moments of life. You came here with a body. Love it. Be with it. Enjoy it. It's not to be lost. It is to be in its rightful place, to be governed by that which is not form. You can call it God, you can call it whatever you want to call it. If you understand, you stop calling it and start being it, letting it rule the roost. See, I'm not going to go out and grab up $150 million and go through all this and take cars and houses. That's too much trouble. Yeah, I want to eat. Yeah, I have a nice little piece of change. When I was a little kid, my grandmother used to give me pennies to walk around and shake that in your pocket, baby, you got money. See, I still think in terms of pennies. I go to the gas station, I'm about to have a stroke. I remember gasoline was 15 cents a gallon. Oh, wow. What? You want, oh God. So, all those things are not that meaningful. They have meaning, but they're in their place. To be governed by that which is wiser than the body. Wiser than the body. The body should be in its place. You don't need to lose the body. You need to put it in its place. Bodies are fun. You remember when you were young how much fun you had with that body? Didn't have to be anybody but you. You had a good time. Bodies are okay. They're all right. But when they govern what you do, they govern how you treat others. The law of the universe should govern how you treat others. You see, if I feel it, I feel good. And I do mean good, not well, but good. Take out the O. When I feel good, how am I going to treat you? I'm going to treat you good. Because that's what's in me. If I feel like crap, if I feel my disassociation from the whole, I don't feel well. I don't feel good. Take out the O. For those of you who don't know what I mean, G-O-O-D, take out one O, G-O-D. Okay. When I feel that, it's like, whoa, okay, yeah, Good morning. How are you? Every morning on my way to the gym, the Russians are downstairs. Good morning. Good morning. I get up, there's Arnold selling the pay. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Arnold. I feel like Andy Griffin in Mayberry. I stop, I look in the popcorn store, wonder, hey, Beverly, hey. Because of the way you feel. Follow me. This solves the problem. See, we want to solve the problem between us. We want to solve it politically. It doesn't solve politically. It starts with me and you, and ends with just one of us. When I say just one of us, when we both understand who we are, there's just one of us. There's no problem. But I have to understand. We keep going out here for an answer about a particular situation. It's not in any particular situation, it's in you. Everything is within. Everything is within. Within. You want to solve the problems of the world, solve the problems within you. If I solve the problem within me, I will solve the problem within the whole world. I won't be a part of the problem. I become a part of the solution. When my insecurity is the excitement of life. See, one of the things that we don't understand when we're born, because we can't, is that is an excitement. But what happens? We go, oh. And our parents continue to say, hey, oh. Well, it's kind of a part of what we have to do to make sure that little varmint lives long enough to get on its own, We're just trying to keep it alive, but we do things to it. Because we live in a society. The kind of societies we live in. The kind of societies that we live in tend to create problems rather than resolve them. We take people and put them in prison. But yet, we don't do anything about the conditions in them that put them there. We don't really do anything about it. From the top, you may have a few people down here who honestly put their effort into making a difference, but it has to come all the way down. No. The society doesn't do that. Because the society is political rather than humane. Well, you want your rights? Well, then I tell you what you do. You go down there in Birmingham and you march and you get your head beat in, you get dog sicked on you, you get hoses put on you, and you die until you force somebody to make a law that says that people can't do that. What the hell is that? What? You can see the humor in that, I'm sure. I was one of them, and I see the humor in it. It's like, oh man, that lump is really funny. I'm sorry, but you gonna cry, Kevin? In order to resolve, we must come to the point of godliness of absolute value, to see both the pain and the sorrow and the humor from the point of view of God. To rise means that you see both. I have said in groups of black people, there's no shame in having been a slave. The shame is in having been a slave owner. Now, since that doesn't really happen now, we both have to see both sides of that and get past it. Because once you are larger than the situation, that's what it's about. Everybody being larger than the situation and moving on. But here's the deal, everybody's not going to be larger than the situation. So those of you who choose to be larger than the situation, you have to look at those who are not larger than the situation and understand that these are children in pain. They're just big old children in pain. Now, how are you going to deal with that? But if you haven't dealt with yours, you're going to want to deal with it with this. With guns and knives and planes and bombs and fire and ropes and... But when you're better than that, when you are bigger than that, you understand. You understand why the guy that's in prison is in prison. You understand. So now you have to understand that you have to deal with it. You have to do something to be constructive with that person toward your society. And you have to also understand it's not going to be easy. These are murderers, cutthroats, and thieves. I first started trading at the Merc. My friend Eugene says, I've never seen this. A bunch of pirates, cutthroats, and thieves, and they like you. Well, yes, Kevin.
A question about doing the technique.
Yeah.
In all of the examples, which you might hear, I hear the examples about doing the technique, and I've always heard them as a passive kind of thing. I have always received them as a passive kind of thing. So I have found myself waiting for, looking for these things in my life that will happen so that I can do the techniques. I mean, if something is extremely disturbing or happy, you immediately are grasping or grappling or dealing with something and you're in it. But when I just go sit down and feel, there's a span of time where you don't have that immediacy, isn't jarring and jolting. Mm-hmm. What is being worked through in that first part?
It's all the same thing. See, when I say it's a technique, it's a slice. It is only a moment, something I've taken from that whole of just sitting. I've taken a moment and said, here's a technique, because this is what the Western mind seems to need. So I'll say, here's a brand new ancient technique that I just made up. So when I say those little jokey things, I'm telling you something.
So my want of the immediacy of it is part of my Western culture. Me sitting there and wanting to...
Yeah.
Is part of...
Your Western culture, yes. It's a part of the mind, the immediate gratification syndrome. You see, you can have immediate gratification when you don't expect immediate gratification, because the expectation gets in the way of the receiving. Okay? So when you just sit there and feel, you're doing the technique. You've known me for a while. And this, and I say this is an interesting character. Okay? It's interesting even to me. So I go, that's pretty good. Anyway, see, we have a problem. You and I. Okay. Now, there's something I have to get you to see. Not intellectually see. Because everybody knows intellectually that they are intelligent. Everybody knows that intellectually. How do I get people to freely think, as opposed to congested thinking. How do I get them to do that? How do I get them to recognize themselves? How do I get all this to happen at one time? Because here's an interesting problem. An interesting problem in physics, an interesting problem in philosophy, an interesting problem, period. All is one. We look at it from the physics point of view, we call it the, what is it? The singularity. All right. How can you possibly do that? Here's what I'll do. Just like that technique, took that technique from all of life and isolated a moment, one tiny moment, and say, all right, here. You say, it doesn't work. I said, keep doing it. Because the idea, through the process of moving to find out how to do it, you break through the small thought into the larger thought, and breaking through into the larger thought, the thing happens, so you've accomplished the singularity, and the singularity is something that cannot be said because we speak linearly. Does this make sense to you? Whew, damn, I'm impressed. I'm glad you understood it, because I didn't. No, I'm joking. Did you follow me? You follow me? But it must be said that honesty with yourself is the thing that must be said. So when you start going back through your life to remind yourself, or to remember where you first had this kind of response, you got to be honest, that's the same response you're having now. And labeling what is happening in the now the same as you label what happened back then. And you got to come to the point where you say, no. I can't do that anymore. I can't lie anymore. Now we become the future. We become another place in time and space, in the time-space continuum, on the movement of space. That's the way it's done. It's not done without pain. Internal pain. Because see, when you recognize, when you just call yourself what you really are, it's painful. But when you do it, you know it and you see it. Now, whether you take that step to step out there or not, doesn't matter. What matters is that you know, and that you will behave in a particular way that is true to who you are, to who you really are. Notice now, I didn't go around saying, look guys, let me come tell you the truth. See, when you first started talking to me, I gave you a copy of the book. All right, I'm telling you. Here I am. All right. I'm like a vampire. I can't come into your house unless you invite me in. But once you invite me in, you will be bitten. I guarantee. You know, we have to acknowledge our pain. And we have to acknowledge that we are also greater than our pain. We must recognize that in order to move and to take our place in godliness. I have a problem with the word God because it carries so many stupid connotations. Without the stupid connotations, godliness. your being, your naturalness, what is native to your being, is to grow and move forward